We are speaking with Asbury Park Distilling, today about their best in class win. This is the first time that we've interviewed somebody from a gin company. Hello, how are you?
Hi, good. How are you?
Good to see you.
Yeah. Good to see you too.
Awesome. Okay, so it's Bill,
Kelly.
Kelly.
And Rob.
Nice to meet you all.
Nice to meet you. And you're Amanda, we presume?
I am Amanda. I am the COO of the Tasting Alliance, which is the San Francisco World Spirits Company umbrella company. So I was reading a little bit about Asbury Park Distilling. Tell me about Asbury Park. I don't know much about it except for possibly Bruce Springsteen.
He's one of the names that surfaces when we start talking about Asbury Park for sure. Asbury Park is a town on the beach in New Jersey. Really got its roots, really got its footing in the music industry, hence Bruce Springsteen and many others that have come out of this area. It had kind of a down decade or so in, I would say, the 70s into the 80s, and then a resurgence started happening in the 90s, into the 2000s, and now into today, where people recognized, just how beautiful the spot it was, that it needed to be kind of lifted up from the ashes, so to speak. And there's been a huge resurgence of art, music, culture, restaurants and bars, and ourselves a distillery.
Very cool. And you guys are the only distillery in the area.
A little distance. There's like a couple towns over has one.
Because I saw that you were the first distillery since Prohibition.
Correct. In Asbury Park proper, we are the only distillery, and we hope to only be the only distillery forever. There are other distilleries, as you know. The craft boom has really started to take shape. So you're seeing new distilleries popping up. We have a few local distilleries which have popped up over the past few years, and I would say there's probably just slightly less than 20 statewide. Well far behind, obviously, the craft brewing scene, but growing nonetheless.
Got it. And so what careers were you guys in before you decided to do distilling? Or was this your first foray?
Go ahead, Bill. I'll let you talk.
I worked at a metal research facility in South Jersey, then wanted to become a brewer, so I left and went to Harriet Watt in Scotland. And then
Very cool.
After I graduated there, I went and worked at Philadelphia Distilling in Philly for about 4 years, and then saw that these guys were trying to start something, so moved up here to try to start making my own stuff.
Very cool. And so you guys started just in 2017, so you're relatively a new company.
Yes.
We actually just celebrated our 4th birthday this past weekend.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Ooh. And how did you guys celebrate?
I'm sorry?
How did you guys celebrate?
In a very rainy Memorial Day weekend here in New Jersey. That's how we celebrated.
Yeah.
I see. Okay, so tell me a little bit and tell me about the effect of your big best-in-class win.
If you wouldn't mind repeating, Amanda, you kind of went silent for a minute.
Okay, tell me about some of your favorite expressions that you guys have, and then talking about your best-in-class win.
That's there.
Yeah.
The gin is definitely like the one that made me want to work here. The gin is like the thing that I think hooks a lot of people here. Besides what we do for that, like we have a small batch bourbon, which is one of my favorites. We have a barrel finished expression of our gin that I really enjoy. And then
Also did an aquavit be launched
last
month.
I like.
Yeah, we do a bunch of stuff. A lot of bourbon, a lot of white spirits. We do a lot of playing with stuff. We have a limoncello now that we played with. We have some other liqueurs that we kind of been tinkering with in the R&D side of things. Hopefully soon some of them will be ready, but sometimes it takes time. The gin was exciting because I like gin to begin with, so I always wanted to make one. So it was really neat. It was kind of crazy when we got that award.
Yeah.
Kind of took me a minute to realize what was happening.
Yeah, that's a big deal.
When we started here in 2017, that was really going to be our flagship. That's what we started with, the gin. So for the gin then to be the first awarded double gold, and then, I mean, to be given best of class was just like an unbelievable kind of series of events in such a short period of time. I mean, 4 years is still like, I feel like we're still in our infant stages. I feel like we're still figuring ourselves out. I mean, we're still only distributed in the state of New Jersey. We plan to expand upon that in the coming months. And obviously now we've gotten a lot more interest, people wanting to bring us into their states. But we've always said from day one that we were never going to get, over our skis, right? We were never going to get ahead of ourselves. We were going to concentrate on what our core spirits were, namely the gin, the bourbon, even a vodka. But we were going to do them really, really well. We weren't going to just be another craft distillery that opens up and people, have that connotation for years and years. Like, oh, here's another little distillery that's probably not doing anything that's very good. We wanted to make sure that we were putting a product out that people loved. And I mean, our customer base is incredibly loyal, incredibly dedicated, both on the consumer side, but also in the restaurant and bar scene, especially the craft scene. So, I mean, this just affirms kind of where we started this whole process, that we wanted to be really true to good, strong craft spirits.
Well, it's a huge honor because gin was one of our biggest categories this year. And for you guys to win a best in class is a really big deal. So congratulations. Can you tell me a little bit about the process of how you make the gin?
Yeah.
And what makes it different?
I mean, first, coming at it of thinking of like, what did it want it to be, and I wanted it to be approachable by everybody, but still feel sort of elegant and like they're having something fancy, but it be like an everybody's gin. So it's like took it from that way. So then I wanted to not go super heavy on juniper, but I wanted to get some citrus in there, but I didn't want to be like a citrus bomb. So then mix in some herbs and a little bit of spice on the back end with cardamom. So we do juniper, coriander, angelica root, sweet orange peel, lemon peel, borage, and lemongrass and cardamom is our mash bill, or not mash bill, grain botanical bill. And then we do a direct in pot maceration for about an hour or so, and then distill over that. Our still, we have a Carl still that has a sort of hybrid that has a 5-plate column in it, but we are able to bypass that, and so I treat it as just a single pot distillation, and I feel like it gives it a little bit more body and a little bit more. You get a little bit more oiliness to get better mouthfeel for the whole product. So it's and then have somebody like Kelly to help
really refine it.
Yeah. You get me out of my own headspace.
It's interesting. We have a joke here at the distillery that we call it the gateway gin, because we have so many people who visit the tasting room who are like, "Oh no, I'm not for me. I don't do gin. I've had a bad experience. I don't like that Christmas tree in my face. I can't stand that." So we call it the gateway gin because it's so much more nuanced and floral and citrus tones to kind of balance out what people generally, those heavy London dries that people, really love. I love them, but a lot of people just don't like that kind of piney texture. So we joke around here. We say it's okay. You'll be fine. It's the gateway gin. You'll be good.
Yeah.
And what would you say would be your ideal cocktail to use with the Asbury Park gin?
That's tough. We luckily we have a team here that runs our tasting room that are some of the most creative cocktail people I've ever worked with, and so they are constantly changing the recipe, the whole menu. So it's kind of like I've been on a gimlet kick for a minute, but they have one now that they mix like guava and passion fruit and all this other stuff.
That sounds amazing.
Really cool.
Baby carrots. Yeah, we would encourage you to take a look at our social media feed and take a look at our website. We got some really cool creative cocktails, and if you're local, come swing through. I tell people when they ask me that question, I say, if you really want to get the sense of what our gin is all about, a super classic citrus gin martini. Don't put olives in our gin. I don't think it works really well. Maybe these guys think differently, but I don't. So a classic gin martini, stirred clearly, with a twist of lemon.
Awesome. And then what would you, if you could have a meal with an Asbury Park gin cocktail or just neat, what would you pair it with?
Ooh.
Scallops and fennel.
I was gonna say crab.
Yeah, seafood for sure.
Yeah.
I definitely like.
Had it with some oysters.
Yeah. Oysters, it goes great with oysters.
Yeah.
It goes really well with oysters. That briny texture, it lends itself to kind of what I was just speaking about of its nuance.
Mm-hmm.
Kelly's totally right. The scallop and fennel kick would be awesome with it.
Yeah.
Well, maybe even a hot dog. Hey, it goes well with everything, you know?
Oh yeah, like French 75 and lobster. Now I'm thinking about seafood.
Ooh, that sounds amazing.
Yeah. That sounds awesome.
Yeah.
You're making us hungry, Amanda.
I
We're
know,
gonna have to go
me
to
too.
lunch after this.
Okay, guys. Well, thank you so much for joining me, and congratulations on this huge honor. And if you guys need any help getting your stuff over to California, please contact us, and we can introduce you to some retailers out there.
Awesome.
We appreciate that, and we really thank you and the Alliance for sure for recognizing us.
Absolutely.
And all those involved with the tasting. You know, it's a great honor to us, and it means the world.
Awesome. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks,
Bye.
Amanda. Bye.